What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm gonna show you my team selection for Gameweek 7, and this week I decided to activate my wildcard. I was planning to activate it in Gameweek 8, but considering there's so many injuries in my team right now and I just really want to get on the Chelsea train right now, I decided to activate it. Maybe it's a mistake, maybe it's not, because I am getting rid of one of the biggest players, Cristiano Ronaldo. But I think let me show you my current draft right now. And then I'm just gonna tinker around a little bit and show you different types of players I'm thinking about. So let's get straight into it. So this is a team right now that I built recently, and I kind of like it. I mean, it's got pretty much everything that for a current wildcard in Game 7 is kind of looking for. We got the double Chelsea defense, best defense in the league after City. City is probably a little bit better. We got Trent Alexander-Arnold, who is injured right now, so we're gonna talk about that a little bit soon. We got Livramento, a really cheap enabler, plays every game pretty much. Was really close to scoring a goal against Wolves the last match. We got Cancelo, probably of Trent the best defender in the game for scoring points. I mean, Alonso is such an offensive good player as well, but Cancelo really gets the points. Alonso doesn't always get them. And the midfield, it's interesting. We have Salah, who's definitely gonna stay. We have Rafinha, if he's fit, he's definitely staying. There's such a good fish around and he's such a good player. The last game, I guess, was it Newcastle? He was amazing. Like, he was so good. Oh, it was West Ham actually. It was West Ham. Such a good player. Like, he's so fun to watch. Really good with the ball. He could have gotten a lot more goals than he just won there. And then we have Douglas Luiz, just an enabler, also plays, got 2 assists, 1 assist in the last 2 games, so 2 assists in the past 2 games, which is pretty good for a 4.5 midfielder. Definitely have him in front of Brownhill at this point. And then I'm going for Gallagher right now. I'm gonna show you a couple of different options as well, but I'm gonna show you also why I'm going for Gallagher. And then we have Antonio, Tony and Lukaku. So my striking force is pretty good. Lukaku is a no-brainer, Antonio is a no-brainer. Tony right now, I do kind of like Tony just because they have really good fixtures coming up and he's been looking pretty good. I had him from the start, he didn't perform. I got rid of him for, I think it was Calvert-Lewin. He scored like 12 points, Calvert-Lewin got injured. I had to get rid of him for Bamford, he got injured, so it was a shit show. I should have just kept Tony, of course, in hindsight, but I think they have some pretty good games going on, and I think they have Chelsea next game, which is not great, but Brentford were impressive against Liverpool. I think they could pretty much score against anyone, it seems like. Really good team. So, and in goal, I'm going for Ramsdale and Forster. So the reason why I'm going for Ramsdale and Forster is because I am kind of leaning against getting rid of Sanchez. The thing about Sanchez is I think Brighton has a better defense than Arsenal probably. The only reason I'm getting rid of him is mostly because he usually never gets save points. He usually don't get a lot of shots to save. So it's either 6 points for keep a clean sheet, or 2 points or 1 point if they concede, and it seems like they concede more often than they should. So I think Ramsey has a higher ceiling, definitely a higher ceiling than Sanchez. And Forster is just an enabler, 4.0 goalkeeper that actually plays every once in a while. The risk is, of course, if Leno comes back and starts playing again, and Forster might be benched again for Bachmann. Of course, I might not have a goalkeeper, but in that case, if that seems to be a trend going on for a couple of weeks, then of course I need to get rid of Ramsey at some point. But for now, I think he is a good option. So let me show you a little bit what I'm thinking about now. So first of all, Trent Alexander-Arnold, he is injured. It talks about 3 weeks, which if you include international break, is like he's missing this game against City and maybe against Watford, not sure. If he guarantees to play against Watford, which we probably won't know before deadline, then I'm gonna keep him. I'm gonna keep him on the bench and then just play him against Watford, because that's a game I want him for. If it's not, we could get rid of him. Either just make the easy choice, just get another defender, preferably maybe a Chelsea defender, even though they play against Liverpool. You can also go for someone like Semedo or whoever, but let's go for Diaz just for now. And this means that you could be tempted to use this 1.4 million remaining to just upgrade somewhere in the team. You could go from Tony to Bamford if he's fit, or upgrade Douglas Luiz or Gallagher. You can upgrade somewhere in the team. But I just think that I am going to want Alexander-Arnold later, sooner or later. So I don't really want to spread the money around too much. I'd rather keep some money in the bank. So that is an option to just keep the money, but you can also, as I said, you can upgrade somewhere. You can upgrade Tony to, for example, Jimenez has some pretty good games coming up, and he has scored a goal, so hopefully he's going to be in good form. You also have Saint Maximum, who is also in really good form, so you can also go for him. But let's just go for the easy sake of it. Let's just go for Jimenez, and then we have 0.2 million left in the bank, which is pretty much nothing. So it's no more upgrades I would do at this point. But if we don't go for him, if we restore him, not Dennis, we need to go for Tony. And you can also, because I'm thinking a little bit about like this. So if I keep Trent just now because I want the money to have him later, and then I'll downgrade someone like Gallagher, for example, to someone like let's say Smith Rowe, for example, just because he is the perfect amount, because then we have 0.4 million to play with, and that means we could upgrade Greenwood after this game week to someone like Grealish. There's a lot of hype around Grealish right now. He's a good player. I watched him in the Champions League last night as well. I think he's a player that kind of, I don't know, there's something about him. He lacks the last piece of the puzzle, if you know what I mean. So I don't see him getting a lot of points this year. He's a good player with the ball. He's really good at dribbling, but he kind of just cuts inside. He creates some chances. Definitely, he can get a lot of assists. But I don't know. On his day, I think Greenwood is a better option than Grealish. But Grealish plays in a better team. He has better fixtures coming up, so he is a good option. And I just think another city midfielder would be really nice. It could be Bernardo Silva, because he's been playing really, really well. It could be Foden if he comes back into the team and starts playing regularly. Or it could be someone else. We'll see. It could even be Torres if he starts playing a striker again. But it is an option. But I really like the look of Gallagher. So let's just look at Fantasy Football Hub. So I'm not sponsored by them in any way. I'm just a member using their sites. I hope it's okay. I'm showing this, but let's just look at Gallagher here, for example. So he's 5.7 million. Other players that people are going for are Ducore, for example. Let's just look at Ducore just to see the comparison here. As you can see, Gallagher blows him away in every single stat, pretty much except for final third passes and the through balls for the first couple of game weeks, pretty much. He's on set pieces. He just gets into the right positions. He looks very dangerous. When I watch Crystal Palace plays, I think Gallagher is the one I would go for. They have two pretty difficult fixtures in the next coming games with City, and I would say Arsenal could be difficult. Leicester defensively, I think they can definitely score against them, and then Newcastle and Wolves, I think it's not too bad. Also, if you compare him to someone like someone that I was thinking about is Townsend, which I thought about a couple of weeks ago, and I feel bad I didn't go for him because he got a lot of points recently. He looks better than Ducore on the stats wise, but he's also not really blowing away Gallagher. On the opposite, I think Gallagher looks better. So I just think Gallagher is a good option. You also have Saka, that's a lot of people going for. It's obviously a bit more expensive, but his stats hasn't been great either. So I think Gallagher stats wise looks really good. He is on set pieces. The only thing he doesn't have is penalties, but he's having free kicks, he's taking corners, and he just looks really creative and dangerous for Crystal Palace. So I really like him. So this is a team that I think I'm probably going to end up with. Another thing I can also go for, I can also downgrade Alonso to someone like Christensen, for example, to have some more money to play around with. And then we have 0.2. Oh yeah, we have Ben Rama left in team. Oh yeah, so we could go for Ben Rama and keep him. I don't think I would just go for Antonio if I'm on a wildcard. But if we go back to, for example, Gallagher or even Saka or something, we have 6.6 to spend. We can go for Saka. Yeah, if you go for Saka, for example, that's perfect, because then we will have 0.4 left in the bank to upgrade Greenwood to Grealish next week if you want to. So I think this is pretty much the foundation I'm going to go for. I am a little bit scared going without Ronaldo, but that's why I'm keeping Greenwood, because I do want to have at least one United attacker against Everton. I think that they could definitely score a couple of goals. But in general, I don't know, I think this team is pretty good. It's kind of similar to the wildcard drafts I've seen, but there's a reason why people are going for pretty much the same type of players. There is sort of a template always going around when people are wildcarding. But I kind of like it. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you're wildcarding as well. If you have any questions, I'll answer them. Thank you so much for watching.